Okay. Bye-bye. No, you too. You too. Okay. Oh, hi. I'm Brian Langdock, pastor of Gathered Community here at Light and Life Church and School. You may remember me from such Light and Life productions as The Minor Prophets Rap, or Scott Keller, Bad for Pastor's Cabinet, or the lesser-known Proposition 18, the dangers of what happens when veal calves take over the railway industry in hopes to fight fires on Palomar Mountain. Today I'm here to talk to you about a little something different, something more serious and more pertinent to our ministries here at Light and Life. You may have noticed that we will begin new community groups in the month of January. Now, if you're like me, you're deathly afraid of people and not very interested in community groups, but it turns out that these groups are important for us as members of a community. Now, sure, we gather on Sunday morning worship, but that's not all we're called to do. In fact, it's important for us to build relationships with one another. This happens in smaller groups. Now, I thought I'd take a few weeks to introduce you to some of those new groups, some of the group leaders, and allow you the opportunity to choose and make an informed decision, an informed choice about which community group you'd like to be a part of. I had a chance to catch up with new community group leader Tyler Powell. I asked him some important questions, giving you, the viewer, an opportunity to see, who is Tyler Powell? What does this community group do? And do I want to be a part of this community group?
Meeting up with Tyler was no easy task, as he wouldn't return my phone calls. So I did what anyone would do, and I showed up at his house, unannounced. He seemed to handle it well. That's a good sign. Before long, he was giving me the grand tour, and I got to see the Traxxas Slash as it ran into my ankle, nearly breaking it. There was some Colts memorabilia, but before long, we got right down to business.
Tyler Powell.
Yes, hey, Brian.
It's good to be here to see where the poker is played.
Yeah.
Now, on any given Sunday,
Yeah.
people are used to seeing you up front, up on the stage, or the chancel, as we use in
The chancel.
churchy language.
Oh.
Now, people are used to seeing you sit up on a throne of
Yep.
lies,
Yes.
or the drum throne.
Yes.
Now, that's not all you do at Light and Life.
Yeah, well, I'm the 8th grade teacher. I've been the 8th grade teacher there for 3 years. This is my 4th year teaching.
So teaching
Yes.
is something that you enjoy doing.
Totally enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun. It's one of those neat careers that God's placed me in, where each and every day I wake up, I'm looking forward to the day, as long and as rough as they can be sometimes. It's still one of those jobs where I know I'm exactly where God wants me to be, and that's very personally fulfilling and very encouraging.
Great. You have a family.
Yeah.
Tell us about your family.
Yeah. Well, I'm married to Rebecca for 7 years now. We have 2 children. Alex, who is age 5.
Okay.
Carson is just about to turn 3 here in January.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alex and Carson, which is your favorite?
I love them both the same, Brian.
So great. Well, that's
Yeah.
a little bit about your family.
Tis.
Now, you recently have become a small group leader, a community group leader. Now, unlike other groups, which a lot of them are Bible study focused or, prayer focused or, some ridiculous waste of time kind of thing, yours is different.
Yes, it is.
Tell us about your group.
Well, mine's fun, and not only that, it is totally different, and it's one of those things where you start talking to a lot of your friends at church, and you go, "Oh, hey, we have these common interests, but we never get to do them together." Hey, all of us kind of like this thing called Texas Hold'em, this form of poker. And of course, that's a big taboo thing, so it's like, what do we do? But I worked really hard with George as far as, let's find this medium between the fellowship portion of it and the gambling portion of it, which is the negative. We wanted to balance that out nicely. And so what we ended up doing was, to keep the game a game, there needed to be some form of monetary surrender. That's important. That's important.
Surrender is important in our life of faith as well.
Absolutely. And you got to be playing for something. If you're playing for nothing, the game doesn't matter, and so people will play with nothing to lose. And it takes really the fun and the edge out of the game.
Sure.
So in working with Pastor George, we came up with what we call a ministry menu. And all of the money is going to go to a ministry of the church. Now, as a player, I have 5 to 10 ministries within the church. Examples would be Lucy Vita, the Palomar Mountain School Outreach, and children's, music, you name it, it's on there. And then at the end of the evening, we usually have collected anywhere between $20 and $100. It has a big range depending on how many players show up. And then the winner, that ministry gets it's the entire donation for the evening.
Now, who has been kind of the person to beat at these? Because this has been going on for a little bit now.
It has,
We've done this for a few months now. Who's been doing well? Because a lot of times people think that poker is just a game of chance, but it seems like there's certain people that kind of come out on top.
Yeah,
often.
the Kishes do well.
The Kishes do. Well, they have a long history of
Absolutely.
gambling and all kinds of illicit behavior.
Absolutely. No, Kim is really the person to beat. If you can take out Kim, you've done well. Andrew, he's good. He's a bit amateurish in his delivery sometimes. I find that he reads people a little wrong. He's very busy counting his chips. You got to listen to Kenny Rogers. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and you don't count your chips while they're on the table.
Very good. Now, I want to make sure that I ask this because this is a question that comes up a lot. Doesn't playing poker, whether or not you're doing it for a ministry or any way you want to justify it, doesn't playing poker make baby Jesus cry?
That's a tough one. No.
No, okay. That's, because a lot of times we just don't want to think about those kinds of tough questions.
Yeah, I try not to.
But especially at Christmas time, we think about the repercussions of our actions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this month, our next poker night will be December 30th.
Yeah.
At what time?
December 30th we begin at 7 o'clock sharp.
Okay.
So get here about 6:45. We usually have some nice queso dip that Rebecca whips up, and some chips. Some people bring some beverages for us, and it's a really good time.